Okay, so again, I added the rhombus and the kite on there, so make sure you put that on your sheet because you will have some, not today, but in this week, you'll have some rhombuses and kites to actually find the area for. So here's what you're gonna have. It's not gonna be where they give you a drawing of the picture. It's just gonna tell you what it is, and then use the formulas that are on the page I gave you to figure out what you're finding. So one of the things that they'll say is, it'll have something like the length of a rectangle is 12 centimeters, and the area is 96 centimeters squared. What they're going to ask you to do is find the width. So that's what they're asking you to do. Now, it does not give you a picture today. It's going to give you a verbal description of it. And so I do have on your sheet pictures of at least the rhombus, the rectangle, and the square. However, if you want to make pictures of the other ones, you can. You can make a picture if you want, if it helps you, but you don't have to. So, when it gives you a rectangle, and it tells you that the length is 12, and the area is 96, how would you find the width? If you look at the sheet, I gave you the area of a parallelogram or rectangle, says base times height, or length times width. So the formula for that again is area equals length times width. Right. So if I know that my area is 96 and my length is 12, I don't know W. So in order to find W, I divide it. Exactly. What's 96 divided by 12? 8. So the width is 8. Okay. It might also say something like a rectangle is, Sydney, give me a number. 5 miles. London, give me another number. Thanks. By 6 miles, find the area. So again, it's not going to give you a picture. It's going to just give you a description of it. If you want to make the picture, go ahead. So looking at the one that those two gave us, 5 miles, 6 miles, how would you find the area? Length times width, so 5 times 6, which is what? 30. So this would be 30 miles squared because we are finding the area. And is everybody okay with the area of a rectangle? Okay. Then it's going to talk about a circle. The circle, one of the major things in here is a radius. And so when we're dealing with a circle, a couple different things. First of all, if you're finding the area of a circle, we're pi r squared. Or if we're finding circumference, we're 2 pi d. Or 2 pi r, sorry. What a circumference is the distance around. We talked about perimeter already, and we've talked about area of some shapes before, but not all shapes. And so circumference means the distance around. So like if you were to figure out a tire, how much rubber you would need to recap it, you would actually go all the way around and measure that circumference. Okay? So on that one, it might say that the circumference is 15.7. So how would I find the radius? So what I would do is I would put 15.7 in for C, 2 pi r, divide by 2 pi. Divide by 2 pi. How big is pi? Our estimated decimal is 3.14. You could also use 22/7. That's the estimated fraction. But pi itself goes on forever, so 3.14 is plenty good if you want to use that for us. Now, what I want you to do though, if you do it this way, especially if you're using your phone calculators, if you go 15.7 divided by 2 pi, it ain't gonna give you the right answer. Because what your phone calculator will do, friends, is it'll take 15.7 divided by 2, get a number, and then times it by pi. That ain't it. Okay, so here's what you need to do instead. You need to take the 15.7 and divide it by, off to the side, take 2 pi itself to figure out what number that is. So 2 times 3.14, which is 6.28. If you're using your phone calculators, that's what I would do if I were you. Because if you just do 15.7 divided by 2 pi, it's going to take 15.7 divided by 2, get a number, and then times it by pi. And that would be a big number that's not our answer. So be careful. If you're dividing by 2 pi, 2 times 3.14 first, and then take that number divided by that 6.28. Okay? Is everybody okay with that? Okay? I'm trying to think if there's any other shape. Trapezoid, that's the other one that you'll see today. A trapezoid could look a lot of different ways. But the main thing that makes a trapezoid is the fact that it has one pair of opposite sides are parallel. And what it'll say is that the bases have 7 and 5, and it's a height of 3. Find the area. And if you look at what I gave you on that sheet, it says x1 plus x2 times by height divided by 2. The x1 and the x2 are bases. So those are the bases. So how big are my bases for my problem? 5 and 7. So 5 plus 7. What's the height of the shape? 3. So when you do this, be very careful. What's 5 plus 7 first? 12, right? Then what's 12 times 3? 36. And what's 36 divided by 2? 18. Okay? So be very careful. All right? So with that, a lot of the other shapes are like squares and rectangles. And there's a couple circles in there. Trapezoids in there a couple times. Some of the times it'll say find the perimeter. What did we do for perimeter again? We did this already. It's kind of a review for that part. How do you find the perimeter of a shape? Add all the sides. Base times height is area. Area is how much we're going to fill. Like if I wanted to figure out how much paint I need to paint this wall, I take length times width, and that's how much paint I need, right? But if it's perimeter, I'm distance around. So add all the sides. Bless you. Okay, what do you think? Okay, all the formulas are there with the exception of, like I said, the rhombus and the kite. On this worksheet, the rhombus and kite are not on there, but they will be tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure we had that in there, okay? Or I forgot. Do you want me to go through another one? No?